How are you? This is Fatima. Today we are speaking about a topic called Done is Better Than Perfect. So, before I get started and introduce my amazing guest, I want to make sure that Facebook is working and we are live and everything is happening. So, Janine, just check for me, and I'm also going to go check inside of our Facebook group. Are we live? Aha. So I'm going to turn off the sale format here and refresh it because sometimes it comes out as a sale format. And there we go. We are live. We are happening. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Today, our topic, my queens, my awesome, awesome women, amazing female spiritual leaders, is done is better than perfect. My name is Fatima Omar Kamisa. I am the CEO of Million Stars Academy, where we equip women with the templates, guides, and most of all, accountability and mindset training to get extraordinary results. And I have my special guest today, our Director of Marketing, Janine El Hanawi. Janine, say hello and tell us why we chose this subject.
Well, hello everyone. Hi Fatima. It's so good to be here. Well, we chose this topic because we are talking to so many women every day, and we have realized that so many are stuck because they're trying to get something perfect and they never get into action. And it has so many side effects of not getting into action. So we just decided to choose that topic for today.
Yeah, so let's get right into this conversation. I'm just fixing my camera here. Let's get right into this conversation. And what I want to do right away is I want to focus on the last word in this, the perfectionist part. Okay, now I know I have suffered from this whole diagnosis of perfectionism because most of us were not homeschooled. Most of us didn't know how to have an extraordinary, fun way of living. We went to school. They said sit down. They had to Velcro or glue our butts to the seat. We had to sit still, follow the teacher, and then we were graded. Right? We were graded, and the better our marks were, the more our teachers liked us. The better our marks were, the more our parents liked us. The better our marks were, the awards would come and we would be at the ceremony and they would celebrate us, right? So let's call it the programming of perfectionism. So, Janine, tell me what you have to say about that.
Oh wow, I like that, the programming of perfectionism. That just hits the nail on the head because, well, let me tell you, I'm a recovering perfectionist. I used to want to have everything perfect, and it was just not working, right? Especially when I was starting out in my business, I used to start to post on social media, and I was sitting there sometimes for maybe 2 hours putting that post together, especially as English is not my first language, right? So I needed to make sure everything is right, and just to get over that thing, and then realizing nobody's even see my post. It was just a terrible thing.
I
And
know, I know. I mean, when I actually look at your post, I'm actually really amazed because when I see people running a business in their second language or third language, I mean, I have deep, mad respect for that, right? But however, it is not the language that is keeping you spending 2 hours on the post, okay? Because native English speakers who are posting in English are doing the same thing and rereading that same post over and over and over again, and then not even posting, deciding that it's just not good enough, it's not going to work. And then there is the repercussion. I posted the thing, and now I'm afraid. Oh my God, someone's going to say something. And guess what happens the moment you put it out there and say, someone's going to say something, someone's going to critique me. What do you think happens, Janine?
Well, it's just paralysis and self-critique, and it's like impacting your self-confidence. I think that whole inner dialogue and that monkey brain coming up and telling you all sort of stuff, and it's most of the time it's not even the truth, right?
And guess what? Whatever we put out there is what we get. So the moment I put out there, someone's going to critique me, someone is going to say something, that's exactly what I get, right? Because the stronger energy wins. And now I am so inundated of, oh my God, the fear of someone's going to say something, that I'm drawing in that one person that has a critique, you draw them in. It is
Exactly.
the most weirdest thing that actually happens, around this whole perfectionism. So what I want to do right now, I actually want to go more into this whole perfectionism thing. Okay? And so let's get deeper into that, because I find this to be really what's holding women back, Janine. So let's talk about that, right? The programming of perfectionism and the pitfalls of perfectionism. And I'd really like for you to share a little bit more about that, and what is it we see with our coaches inside of the academy.
Well, what is that we see is it's a big, big thing that is going on, right? And just recently, maybe 2-3 months ago, we had one of our coaches, and I'm not gonna say her name, but she was like really stuck in that saying, should she start doing videos or shouldn't she, right? Because that's really getting out there. That's really being vulnerable and putting yourself out there with your voice. People can see you and they will judge you, right? And she was just in that fear of getting out there, and she did it, and that was so amazing, because she was also stuck in that whole is it gonna be perfect, am I even worthy to do this, and whatever it was. And then the moment she decided to actually do it, it was just like magic. It was so beautiful to see what happened. And while before she thought she's not ready, we all like watched her video, and I was like, wow, you just should have started earlier, because it's just very good. And then another thing, like when I started doing videos, I always saw the stuff that is not good, right? You look at yourself and you judge yourself, and other people might not even see the thing. Like they don't see when you say, oh, the lighting wasn't good, or I used the wrong word. Other people might not even realize. So it's so interesting to see the journey people go through, and then they just totally overcome that, and it's like, wow, the transformation they are getting.
Yeah. What if I told you that everybody is so busy looking at themselves, they don't see your flaws, they don't see what they need to criticize. Actually, they're blind to what you see. In fact, it is completely the opposite. What they see is just the information, and they're getting that information, right? And rather than picking on you all the time, picking on ourselves all the time. And so here I want to go through some of the unhealthy things that we do, and how damaging it is, this whole programming of perfectionism. Okay, it would be like you taking say your 5-year-old, and your 5-year-old has never been on a bicycle, and they get onto the bike the very first time, and you're holding their little seat, and you're like, okay, start pedaling, and then you let go and they fall down, and then they say, okay, I'm never meant to be. I'm never, meant to ride a bike. All my brothers and sisters can ride, my friends can ride, but I fell down the first time, and I'm never gonna do it. Look at everyone's laughing at me, but as adult learners, We don't give ourselves the generosity of being learners. We don't give ourselves a generosity of just saying, oh, wow, look, I got it wrong. Oh my God, let me laugh at myself. Right?
Yeah.
It's like there's this morphic field, like a big cloud of everything you heard from the day you were born until yesterday about how bad you are, how terrible you are, how incomplete you are, right? So we don't give ourselves that generosity, right? We don't do that. And what ends up happening? What ends up happening is that you get this cycle of negative self-talk over and over and over again, and you are calling yourself names. You're being horrible to yourself. Okay, next thing is you might just avoid the whole situation. You join a really amazing coaching program and then you don't show up for the calls. You know your coach is so amazing and she's gotten some amazing results. And what do? Because of your programming of perfectionist, you avoid it. You're like, I'm not going to show up. Why should I show up? I'm not good enough anyway. And then your whole time, whether your coaching program is 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, 1 year, you don't show up. And then suddenly you're like, oh my God, it's the end. Okay. Another thing that how it shows up is that you get preoccupied with silly little things, changing the drawer, painting a wall, cooking food, picking up the phone, watching a drama, all of those things. And you start making yourself busy, and the busyness takes you further and further away from your dreams. Now, I've said three things, Janine. I want to give you a chance to add to anything I've said or add your own things.
Yeah, I would love to. So it's so interesting that you were talking about children. And as I was preparing for our little discussion here today, I was reading some studies, right? And actually, when you said about programming, it's so interesting that the studies are saying that 2 in 5 children are perfectionists. And
Wow.
it's really
That's a high
crazy.
number.
Yeah, it's very high because actually it has such a big impact on our health and well-being, because as you already said, right, you get that voice in your head where it tells you you're not worthy, you're not good enough, and that can really lead you to like getting into depression, anxiety, too much stress, and it's terrible thing, right? And that leads even another study saying that perfectionists actually die earlier, which is so crazy. Yeah. I was reading that, I was like, wow. And so there was one example. I was reading a study where they actually put, just let me look here so I'm not saying anything wrong. So they gave perfectionist and non-perfectionist a specific goal to go after. And they didn't tell the persons that the test was rigged. So none of them would actually succeed, right? But both of the groups, they put in the most effort. But one group felt really terrible about the thing. And guess who was it? It was the perfectionist, right? Who just felt bad. And that's the way life is. There is always things happening, whatever it is. And it's just what you make out of it and how you feel about it. And if you feel bad about it, well, it's normal. You're gonna be unhappy. You're not gonna, enjoy your life and everything. So the perfectionist really has a big downside to life, and it's really not.
Yeah, we create these unnecessary mountains to climb in a life that's already challenging.
Exactly.
Right. I mean, like I'll hear this thing from my kids, and they'll say something like, well, life is not fair, when they're little, like life is not fair. And I'm like, that's right, I'm glad you got the memo early. Good job, good job. Life is not fair. What are you going to do about it now? Let's work on it. What do we have control over? What don't we have control over, right? He said, she said, all the little fights that kids have with their toys. I'm like, okay, awesome, I got it. What can we do about it? How can we react? What's the next step, right? All of these things, we build it. Now, we got a really good question here from someone. I don't know your name because you haven't given StreamYard permission. And the question is, are children perfectionists or parents? What a brilliant question. And I would say perfectionist parents raise perfectionist children, because our children can only model the example that they see. It's like the baby zebra recognizes the stripes of his mama. Okay? That's all it is. Kids born in France speak French. Okay? Kids born in Switzerland speak Swiss German. That's just how it goes. Okay? So when you are a perfectionist as a parent and you have certain standards in your language, it is coming out in your language. It's coming out in your own behavior and your criticism of yourself and everyone around you. So your child grows up in that world. And guess what? I was like that. Okay, my father, may God bless him and keep him safe wherever him and my mom are. But and as an adult, I got why my dad did what he did. I mean, in the 60s and 70s, there was not a lot of personal development. Okay, so I've completely forgiven them. I got it. So if you want to tell me all about forgiveness, thank you, but I got it. And when I was a child, I'd come home and my average was always 97%. Not higher, not lower. It was like I was stuck there. That was my thermostat. You know, and my dad, in all of his loving intention, would be like, so honey, what did you do with the other three? But I interpreted like even 97 isn't good enough for him. And so I developed this whole perfectionist thing. And switching from school to getting married and having kids and then becoming an entrepreneur in my 40s was a huge, huge unlearning. So let's talk a little bit about that, Janine, the unlearning of all the old programs of perfectionism. One of the sayings we have in the academy is this is the get it wrong exercise. So I want to hand it over to you and tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I love the get it wrong exercise because that was actually such a big help to myself when you started saying that, because I was always used to try to get everything right. I wanted to get everything right, and when I did a mistake, I was like, oh man, I did something wrong, and then I would lose my sleep over it, right? I would maybe have a discussion with somebody, and then at night I would feel, oh, I should have said this, I should have said that. And it was just like terrible. And then you came with the get it wrong exercise and fail forward faster. And I was like, wow, this is so amazing. And that's, I guess, one of the reasons why our students in the academy are getting results, because they are unlearning the whole program they had. And so I think it's so important to really unlearn that whole programming, because when you start doing the work, actually, even if it's not perfect, you will learn from it, right? You can move forward, and it's so important. And I love the saying that failure is actually a part of success.
Feedback, yeah.
Or
feedback in the journey, exactly. Like for me, I had to really fall in love with failing, because entrepreneurship is 80% failing. That's what it is. And if you don't get that, I would say go get a job, honestly, because entrepreneurship is definitely not for everyone. And you've got to put yourself in a position to have your heart broken. Put yourself on the chopping board, open your heart, bear your pain, all of that. And then your heart's still going to be broken, because you want to show up authentically and lovingly and serve and serve and serve. and then no one's going to buy. And then you're going to wake up tomorrow and you're going to do it all over again. Right? And keep on failing, keep on failing. Well, that didn't work. How do I deliver my message this way? That didn't work. I'm working with a brand new coach right now, and they're all in about like Facebook funnels. And you know what? It's not really working yet. And I put down a big chunk of change. And you know what I say, Janine? So what? So what? I'm in it for the long run. I'm in it to win it forever. So we do this and we do that and we do this and we do that. And I'm on the coaching calls every single week with my coach. And I'm just like, he's looking at the numbers and he's like, well, I'm not really happy with what's happening here. What's happening here? How are you feeling, Fatima? I'm like, hey, I'm in it to win it, dude. We're here forever. And then some other person came on after me and they're like, we love Fatima's attitude. And I'm like, that's what it is. That's what it takes to have your heart broken over and over again, letting go of the perfection and just keep on getting back on the horse. Okay, so you have a bad day. You want to cry for a little while? Call a friend, have a pity party, go have an Epsom salts bath, eat some ice cream, okay, if you need to.
Exactly. And you cannot make money, right? If you never put yourself out there, nobody will see you, and nothing is gonna happen. Not even yeah.
And if nobody sees you and you don't keep showing up, you don't deliver your message, you don't make a difference, you don't make an impact, you're not being influential, guess what? There's no money coming in the door. Right? So I've got a couple of more things here on my list. What perfectionism does. Perfectionism, the programming of perfectionists, can show up in so many different ways. It can also show up in your relationships, where you will feel inadequate in your relationships. You won't be able to have a serious discussion. When someone says something, you go into reactionary mode. You don't know how to have a conversation because everything is personal to you. Everything is personal. So you don't know how to stand back and have an objective point of view on the discussion, because anything someone says, you take it personally, and then people can't really have a proper conversation with you to grow and expand. The next thing I wrote down as I was thinking about people I've worked with and even in my own life, there's this whole idea, the propensity of all or nothing. Okay? You don't have a middle ground like, okay, this has happened, this didn't happen, let's look at the data, we failed, no. It's either I'm going to have everything or nothing. Okay, so I'll give you a really good example if you're following along here, and I'd like to know where you see that in the people around you or in yourself. We had a client and she was all gung-ho, right? She was like, okay, I am going to do this and this and this and this and this and this and this, and it'll all get done by next week. And we're like, how? We built a 7-figure company and it takes one bite at a time, right? So it's like you get all excited and you're like, I'm going to do all of this. I'm going to lose 30 pounds. I'm going to get the soulmate of my life. I'm going to build my Facebook group from 0 to 900,000, and we're going to do it in a weekend. And then when that thing doesn't happen, you throw out the baby and the bathwater and you throw in the towel and you give up on everything. The all or nothing attitude, rather than sit back as a CEO creating something extraordinary and saying, you know what? It's impossible to do this in a week. I might need a year. I might need 6 months. What is the next step I can do to achieve my goal? And then slowly fail, success, fail, 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 success, success, fail, fail, success. And then your car starts growing in momentum. Janine, what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, I love that. Just take one step at a time and look for the feedback you are getting. And it's just like a natural process, right? Because nature also doesn't wait until something is perfect. It just acts with its full intention and purpose, and it grows from there, right? A tree is a seed first, and then it grows. It doesn't say, oh, I'm too small, I don't belong in the forest. So, I mean, who are we to say, I'm not perfect enough, I cannot put this out there? And I just want to say, I mean, there are some people I want them to be perfect, right? If I want my brain surgeon, if I have to have a brain surgery, I want him to be a perfectionist. And also for like air traffic controllers or
Or
any
the guy who looks after my credit card bills, my accountant. I want them to have perfect mathematics.
Exactly. I mean, those guys, I really want them to be perfect. But for the whole rest of us entrepreneurs, coaches, like creatives, I want us just to get out there and just fail forward faster, because that's the way where you're gonna really connect with your audience. That's the way you're gonna learn and grow. And people actually, they love to follow your journey, right? They don't like somebody to come. I mean, at least I hate those gurus. When you see them, they say, oh, look at my Ferrari. Here is my villa. Here is whatever. I'm like, oh man, I don't want to look at your stuff. Like, honestly, when this publicity comes on YouTube, I'm like just waiting to like can click the skip button and I'm gone, right?
Me too. Me too. I think the consumer is so smart today, and we should never underestimate how smart consumers are, people online. And they want to see us failing. They want to see us, being in our vulnerable state. They want to hear our story. And if I pretend I'm perfect, I would actually be lying. That would be the fraud, fake part of me. I mean, how many times Facebook didn't work, or it was going live on a different place, or, oh my God, and till now, I still get embarrassed when I cry. And I do, okay? I do all the time. Like when I'm thinking about my clients and I'm thinking about my past and what I've created, or my children, or what my clients are creating, I'll still get emotional. And it still takes me a moment where I can say, guess what? It's okay. It's okay. So unraveling and unlearning the programming of perfection is an ongoing process. It's not going to happen instantly. It's not going to happen tomorrow. However, what I have found is when I surround myself with women that are also okay with their vulnerability, I become okay with mine.
So true. Yeah.
Right? When I surround myself. So I want to know how did you do it, Janine, and what gives you permission to be vulnerable?
Well, I guess just along my journey, I think the main thing that I learned from you really was that saying that when you told us it's okay to fail, I want you actually to just move along and be just vulnerable to whatever you are doing. And another thing is what you're always saying, like if you are like thinking too much about yourself and your results, then that is the moment when you become that perfectionist and you don't think about the other person, right? So like for me at the beginning, it was a really big deal to go on live. And it was always the big deal now thinking back when I just thought about myself, when I think, oh, how I am gonna look, what people will think about me, when it's just all about me, right? But now my focus is on how can I help these people? And when I go there with that focus and I say, I truly want to help these people who are following me to succeed in their life, to create an outstanding coaching business. I want to help them to overcome whatever obstacles they have. I don't really care anymore about how I look because it's all about them.
That's right. That's right. And that's where the focus changes, and that's what we teach you every single day, all the time. For me, that's what switched for me, right? It's not about me. Oh yes, I want to put my earrings on, I'm going to put my lip gloss on, I got that. And then the moment I just press record or go live or make that post, it is all about the other person. I mean, oh my God, I know how many posts I have that have spelling errors, grammatical errors. And I also know the people who will come and tell me, oh, there's a typo. Okay, well, thanks so much for sharing. But for me, it's just every day serving, 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 serving. And speaking of serving, we have something really, really amazing happening, don't we?
Oh, yes, we have. And we're so excited about it. And
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about that, Janine.
well, it's the Coaching to Millions online summit that's coming up on November the 5th. So that's already in like 10 days from now, right?
Oh.
It's coming so close. So it's the Coaching to Millions summit, or actually online retreat, where you are gonna be teaching the ladies on how to overcome all that feeling of like you are an imposter, you are not getting anywhere in your business, you are feeling stuck and struggling, you have not enough clients that you are attracting, or you feel that you are talking to the wrong audience. Then that is the event that you should be registering for, because it's for free. And Fatima, you are always so amazing in teaching everything. So
I gotta take my extra vitamins. Woo!
yes.
This is actually the last and final launch that we will be having for 2021. Okay, this is it. So if you are thinking about, I want to position myself to have an extraordinary 2022, right? This is for you. If you're a woman who is stuck at a certain level, maybe you're generating 4 figures a month and you want to go to 5 figures a month consistently, this is the online retreat for you. If you've been doing a Facebook group and you haven't been attracting the right kind of clients, this is the online retreat for you. Okay, this is the next level retreat. So if you want to learn the Q.U.E.E.N method that we created, my team and I, this is the workshop for you. So click on the link. I know Shyam is putting the link right there. You want to click on it. You want to save your spot. You want to register. And there's a brand new workbook coming. So if you've had a workbook in the past, this is a brand new workbook. We're going to teach new content. And I'm going to tell you, you are going to be blown away. So mark your calendar. You know what you should do? You should get some highlighters, all your colors, take them all out, every color that you have here. Scribble in your calendar, okay? November 5th and 6th and 7th. That's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and block it out. Cook food for your family. Okay, tell them to go to the neighbors. Bring your mom over, bring your dad over, bring a neighbor over, because this is going to directly impact your money. And when spiritual, awesome, brilliant, generous women have money, the world becomes a better place. You give more, you share more, you invest more, you donate to your favorite charities. This is what it takes. And so, yeah, Faria is saying invite your friends. Exactly. Invite women that are going to the next level. Invite the women that are here to make an impact, women who are creating a legacy. That's what this is all about. It's about the next level of greatness, the next level of impact, the next level of influence. This is the online retreat you want to be part of. Over to you, Janine.
Yes, exactly. I just can, agree to all of what you said, and especially also just like relating to our topic, like done is better than perfect. If you're thinking, oh, should I come? Do I have the time or whatever? Just get registered, because it's just gonna bring your business to the next level. Take your markers, as Fatima said, and just put that on your calendar. We are starting November the 5th. And it's just going to be amazing, especially if you bring your business-minded friends, because it's going to be all happening on Zoom. And we do have always some amazing breakout rooms there, which all the ladies love. And it's just also amazing to just connect also with all of the ladies here inside of the group.
Yeah, you get to be around successful, powerful women that are making a difference. And you want to surround yourself with these kind of women, right? Because if four of your friends are successful, you'll be the fifth successful one, right? If four of your friends are millionaires, you'll be the fifth millionaire. If four of your friends are best-selling authors, you'll be the fifth. That's just how it goes. And it's been proven. And so I invite you to come. I'm excited to deliver this content to you. It is the last online launch, the retreat that we are having that is completely free for 2021. And you want it. I know you want it. I know you need it. Brand new workbook coming your way. So yeah, register for it, because here's the thing. If you register for it, and let's say you miss one of it or you're late for one of it, we will send you the recordings. And then you will have access to the recordings. But if you don't register for it, we don't know if you're interested in this kind of content. It's all happening, like Janine said, on Zoom, which is so powerful and intimate. And you get a chance to meet these women, you get a chance to go into breakout rooms. And we've had collaborations that have come out of these breakout rooms, and you want that. You want to have access to successful, powerful women. So the link is right there. November the 5th, we're counting down the days. We're so excited, the team and I, because so many exciting things are happening over there. So just go ahead and click the link and register. Janine, final thoughts.
Well, my final thoughts, stop the perfectionism, just like be vulnerable, get out there and make things happen. Because if you drop all of that, people will be able to relate to you, and you will build from that a really amazing business. And if you're still looking for how exactly you want to do that, or you want to finish 2021 with a bang and start 2022 with a really, really good head start, and just come join us for Coaching to Millions.
Yes. Let's end it on a high note. What? This is the place. This is the place. So that's what we got for you. Thank you so much, Janine, for this fabulous conversation. We will see you again, ladies, on another time. Go ahead and join. Talk to you later. Bye for now.
Thank you